Hello and welcome again to another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
And today we thought we'd talk about a feature that has crept its way into Age of Sigmar, slowly but surely.
Sneakity.
And that is the combined, or some people call it the soup Battletome.
Stew.
Yeah, because you just throw everything in, right? And currently, with the exceptions of Sons of Behemoth, I think every destruction faction is a soup tome.
Yeah.
Now, Auric War Clans has Cruel Boys and
Iron Jaws. And used to have Bone Splitters.
So it's only 2 armies at this point.
Instead of 3 armies, too.
Then you've got Ogres.
Ogres have 2.
Who have 2, right? Because of Beast Claw. And it's less of a fine
line.
It's a more gray area, right?
Gray soup.
Because you can definitely mix them together. And they're not 2 separate armies, but the Beast Claw stuff definitely feels and often plays different than the Gutbuster stuff. Mm-hmm. And, way back in the day, they used to be 2 different battletomes. Yeah. And then you've got the Gits.
4, 5?
Yeah, it's a ton. So technically, they're all one army. They can all be brought together, but...
Really, they're goblins, squigs, trolls, spider riders, even though they're sort of non-existent, and Duggos. 5 armies in a stew.
5? Yeah, you've got 5 major sub-factions.
In one big stew.
And it's like, and they're all sort of different.
Yeah.
So technically it's one army. Technically, I guess you could say it's not a soup tome because it is one army.
Yeah.
But
it's a soup tome.
It certainly sort of feels soupy. So that brings us to the question, are soup tomes good or bad?
I think they're just more of they're a thing.
They're a thing?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why some people think they're bad, and you can respond.
Okay.
And that is a Battletome is going to have 3 major things. It's going to have the rules.
That's probably the most important.
It's going to have painting stuff.
Least important.
And it's going to have lore.
Second most important.
Okay. So the theory is, hey, if you get an Iron Jaws Battletome, all the lore is going to be about the Iron Jaws. And if that's what you play, maybe you don't like Cruel Boys, then you're going to have a Battletome filled with your stuff. Mm. But if you have to share with the Cruel Boys, really now you're getting half lore.
Yeah. I was like, cool, more orc stuff.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying that's why somebody would look at it. Because maybe it's not more, maybe it's more orc stuff, or maybe it's the same amount of orc stuff, but now it's half the Iron Jaw stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
That does make sense. That why someone would be mad about it. Just like more orc things.
Yeah, for me, I think that there's definitely something to that argument, but I also feel like the amount of lore you get in a Battletome is, I mean, it's good. I like it. I don't want to come across
and it's gotten better.
And it has gotten better. But I feel like the Battletome mostly sort of gives you an overview of how the army feels, right? There's definitely page after page of individual units, each getting a couple of paragraphs, right? So it's not like you're getting lore as in story content. You're getting like a familiarity with how that society works a little bit, right? And so I feel like when you cut an army in 2 with like Auric War Clans or Gutbuster or Ogre Maw Tribes or whatever, I feel like, are you really losing that much? I don't think you are.
No.
I think maybe you're losing some.
Yeah.
But the kind of lore you're getting is sort of like
the same.
An overall feel for the army, right? If you want individualized stuff, if you want to see them in action.
To the books.
Yeah, Black Library, right? So if that's what you're looking for, I don't think the Battletome is where it's going to be. And I'll actually take it a step further, and I think Combined Battletomes, even though I recognize they have their drawbacks, right? It's not it's not a whole good.
Yeah.
But I think they are a net good. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
That's because the Battletomes, there's a lot of armies in AOS.
There are.
And Games Workshop puts out like, if they're fast, through 3rd edition and 2nd edition, they put out about 10 per year for the 2 middle years of the edition. And then they usually put out a couple at the beginning, like maybe 2 to 3, right? Because you have the first, whoever, like Stormcast and whoever the bad guy is, those ones come out. And then maybe you get one more. Mm. But that still leaves a couple of Battletomes that are coming out in the last 6 months of the edition. Mm-hmm. So you went through all of 4th edition, basically.
On index.
And then at the very end, for a couple of months, you get to play.
Woo!
And now if they keep adding armies, if we get more destruction armies, we get a silent people. If we get more death armies, if we get more order armies, I mean, I think the problem's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
So I think at some point you need to just say, all right, we want to introduce Malarian.
But Stu, he goes.
Yeah, but I think it's not a good idea to make a new battle tome for Malarian.
Yeah.
I think you add it out as a game. Soup book. I think you don't, if you wanted to add some, there's lots of stuff you could add in, like if you wanted to add in Tyrion elves, right? Because right now we have the techless elves in Lumineth. You wanted to bring Tyrion in.
Just Stu.
Soup him in with the Lumineth, right? I feel like that is the better version than saying, oh yeah, you can have your own Battletome Malarian. If you really love Malarian, you get your own Battletome, but it'll come 3 months before the edition ends. It's like, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Was it worth it for 2 extra pages of lore that aren't really story lore anyway? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think that the cost is relatively minor because if you want lore, there's other better places to get it.
Yeah.
And I think that the benefit of getting more tomes out early is just way better. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just way better to be able to say, oh yeah, I've got them out. And then maybe the last 6 months, ideally the last year, but I think we're beyond that point. But like the last 6 months or more of the edition, everybody's out. Everybody's on the same playing field.
Battle Scrolls.
Right, Battle Scrolls will still happen.
Narrative stuff
would be nice. But then everybody's has their tome. Everybody's gotten their rules. Everybody's right on the same the playing field. And then, in a few months after that, you can start the end of edition campaign and work through it. And then everybody's working through it with the rules from their battle tome, right? And I think that for the health of the game and for players, I just think that is a better system than everybody has a battle tome.
Yeah.
And sorry, some of you are just going to
suck.
Yeah, you're just going to get the short end of the stick.
Oh, they did release another faction with the Horns of Fishhook. So what are we at, 28 total factions? 29?
I think it's less than that. It's in the 20s for sure.
Oh.
Because they got rid of Bone Splitters and they got rid of Beasts. Right?
So we're down a faction net.
From 3rd edition. Yes.
Although we have the same amount of books because Beasts had their book and Bone Splitters were just stewed in.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're at the same amount of books.
Yeah, same amount of battle tomes. And then, who knows what they're going to do? Because there's rumors about Fire Slayers, right? Are they going to get combined with something else? What's going on there? So they're going to add in other stuff. I mean, the one nice thing about AOS is it's not stagnant.
Yeah.
Right? There's always new stuff coming in. So I think that's really cool. I think that keeps the game fresh. I think it keeps things interesting. I really like that. But I feel like if you want the game to be good, and for me, that's the most important thing, is I want the game to be fun. Because the lore, everything else is cool. It's fine. It's good. But if the game wasn't fun, I would not invest the time and energy and resources in all the stuff.
So many dollars.
And all the dollars. But so if you want the game to be good, I think there has to be a cap somewhere where you say, all right, we can only put out so many books. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we can only have so many factions.
We have to begin the stew.
Yeah, you have to start throwing stuff in or squatting factions, right? Which is
dangerous.
It's not a good thing, right? It's just not a good thing because Beasts of Chaos, and Bone Splitters both, very
small
low
player
percentage,
base.
Very small player base, probably weren't having a lot of sales, but some people loved them.
Yeah.
Right. Some people were like, that's the whole reason I play Warhammer, because I love my Beasts of Chaos. Right. And then to have GW just say, nah, you don't get to play anymore. That's lame. That sucks.
You could go play fantasy battles. Go have fun there.
Right. Or like Lumineth. Right. I'm not Lumineth. I'm sorry. Ideneth. I could theoretically, I know their player base is relatively small you could see Games Workshop, or I shouldn't say that. I don't think Games Workshop would do this. But if they were going to cut a faction again, and hopefully they do not, I do not want this to happen. But if they were going to cut a faction again, you could see that happening. And I could see lots of Idoneth players look at that and say, well, I got into this because cool sea creatures that are like, elves riding sharks.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. And now that I can't ride sharks, meh.
240K.
240K. Yeah, they'd love that. So I do think that making changes, moving things around is in general, in theory, a good thing. I don't know about those particular, squatting a whole faction. I don't know if that's a good thing. But I think that is a good thing. And I think I'd like to see them do a lot of that. But I think that means if they're going to introduce new factions, if they're going to introduce silent people, if they're going to introduce the Drogruk, or whatever it is, the Kragnos pony.
They're not doing them.
I'm just saying it's an option because there's been lore that they didn't all die out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lore is Kragnos. He's the one that didn't.
No.
There's others.
Yeah, the lore is that Mork found not Mork. Gobsprak. That Gobsprak found old cave paintings that talk about them living on, but that he hid them from Kragnos so Kragnos wouldn't leave him. Right? So now that's just a little like lore tidbit in a book somewhere. So they might never come back to it. That doesn't mean they're going to make Pony Boys, right? But maybe. But if they're going to add these additional things,
if they added that, I think that'd go into with Sons of Bahamut, and they could be called like Titanic Creatures of Gur.
Nah, they'll just throw it into Gits. Just more Gits stuff.
That's where all of our stew goes.
Kragnos just goes in the Gits. It's the 6th Gits faction. he likes mushrooms now.
Yep.
That's the way the Pony Boys survive, is actually just by eating mushrooms in caves, and so now they're Gits.
And they're like yay high.
Yeah, except they all got small from that. So anyway, I think that for the health of the game, soup tomes are probably the way to go, just so that you don't have too many people, too many factions too late in the cycle, right? But I'd be interested to see what people think. Do you see those combined battle tomes, those soup tomes, as something that's a net negative, where you feel like you're losing out on lore, you feel like you're losing out on cool stuff, you have to share your battle tome with an army you don't even care about? Or do you think it's a net positive, like I do, where despite its flaws, and it has them, it's better to do it that way because then at least everybody gets a tome?
Yeah.
I wonder if I would feel the same way. Like, let's say, for example,
i.e.
e.g. Let's say, for example, they get all the tomes out in 4th.
Okay.
And then in 5th edition, they make some changes because, of course, that's how they get you to buy the new edition, right? They make some changes. But they use basically the same rule set. And they say, you know what, maybe we'll release updated rules from time to time, but we're not going to re-release the battle tomes. Right? Your 4th edition battle tome is just good for 5th edition. And so instead, we'll release campaign books or narrative books. Or
that would never happen in a million years.
Well, I think I want that to happen too bad. It's not going to happen. But I think
everybody stop wanting silent people.
If your battle tome were to last that long, and they had that long to start putting out battle tomes, maybe I would say, let's unsuperfy stuff. Let's keep everything separate. Because now you're on a much larger timeline, and people can get their battle tomes at a reasonable pace.
Or, just lengthen the editions.
Now you're talking crazy talk.
You've been asking for longer editions.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it would be great. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, just like I don't see them preserving the books.
Yeah, I think that's more likely because they've done that before.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Nurgle,
Idoneth even. So
I think that they just didn't have time to get to them.
For sure, and because a lot of books to be made, right? So it all sort of is in the same pot of stew.
Is it the ogre pot of stew?
Could be.
It's a pretty tasty pot of stew.
Let us know in the comments below what you think. How do you feel about the combined tomes? Any final thoughts?
I think we got it.
All right, this has been another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready.
Thanks so much for watching.